Welcome back, 8:45. New this morning, there is a push to save an historic home in Winter Park. The Merrywood house could be demolished if someone doesn't buy it and preserve it. The home was designed by architect James Gamble Rogers II, who also designed Casa Feliz, and the community has really rallied to save that historic home. That was 25 years ago. Well, Betsy Rogers, she is the executive director of the Friends of Casa Feliz, and she is joining us this morning to talk more about the importance of this gorgeous house. By the way, it is beautiful. Betsy, great to have you.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
So let's talk first about the importance of this house. And this was a house that was actually built by someone very special to you.
That's right. Yes, the architect James Gamble Rogers II was my grandfather. So I certainly grew up with an appreciation for good architecture and the care and detail that goes into these wonderful old homes.
Many people are familiar with Casa Feliz. I was telling you in the commercial that I've been to a wedding there. It is a beautiful property that your grandfather designed. This is a house they may not have realized was also designed and planned out by him. Why is it so important that we save it?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up Casa Feliz because it is 25 years since the community rallied to save that house, and nobody it was very controversial at the time that it was safe, but nobody in the 25 years since has said they should have let that be demolished. And we hope that the same fate awaits Merrywood, that some buyer will come forward that wishes to save and restore and really nurture the house and bring it back to its full glory.
Now, why, Betsy, would someone destroy this house? What would be the reason that it would come down?
So no one specifically wants to destroy the house. The challenge is that it's on very valuable land, and it's always a challenge in historic preservation when the dirt is worth more than the house that it's sitting on. It sits on it sits on 4 acres of land on Lake Osceola, which arguably is the most expensive land in Winter Park. So if the right buyer doesn't come forward, we're concerned that somebody might ultimately buy it who demolishes it and wishes to, build something larger, more modern.
Sure, like a developer or somebody, right? Which would be unfortunate because they could potentially divide it up into several lots, I imagine.
Well, and actually that's part of the plan that we hope may happen, is that the current contracted buyer is interested actually in developing and building a house on the adjoining lot. So she's hoping that the city might allow her to subdivide the lot and a buyer might come forward to buy and save Merrywood. So I know it's a little complex.
What are we talking about as far as value is concerned for this house, Betsy? And it's my understanding that the previous owner had lived there for a long time, but there are some upgrades that are probably needed.
Yeah, I mean, the house honestly is a little long in the tooth, as many historic homes are. And so it needs somebody with vision to come in and who would really enjoy that challenge.
And a price tag, we're talking about anywhere from what?
Yeah, so they're hesitant to name a specific price, but Zillow values the entire property in the $12 million range. So we're definitely talking about, a small group of people who might be, have the means and also the interest to purchase and restore this house. That's why we're really trying to get the word out far and wide.
The house is located on Palmer, and if you're familiar with it, if you've driven the streets of Winter Park or you live in Winter Park, this is it's a lovely place. What are some special things about this home? We're looking at these exterior pictures. Gosh, it's absolutely stunning. But what are some special things that people should know about it?
Yeah, so it's actually the largest house that James Gamble Rogers ever designed. It's about 7,000 square feet. It's also said to be the most heavily detailed, both on the inside and the outside. There are all kinds of wonderful features and ornamentation. Beautiful woodwork, beautiful iron grate work, trellises, masonry work around the entrances that really couldn't be replicated these days. You couldn't find the craftsmen to do it, and it would be extremely expensive if you could.
What would your grandfather say about all of this?
I mean, I think he would be flattered, honored that the community cares so deeply about the house and that they value and want to preserve his legacy.
All right. Well, I don't even know him, and I'm tearing up. So I just think that this is one of those things that somebody out there definitely, when they hear this, will say, you know what, I have the money to do something with that. So hopefully that person is watching. I think we need to send David Martin into this house to have him do a little look-see through it too. Would that be fun?
That seems to be okay today.
All right. So we'll work work on that as well. But Betsy Owens, thank you so much for taking the time
Thank you.
for bringing this to our attention and to our viewers' attention. And fingers crossed. We'll be right back. Thank you.